The jungle was alive with the hum of life. Birds sang in the high branches, monkeys swung playfully from vines, and the wind carried the smell of ripe mangoes and rain-wet earth. And right in the heart of it all lived Bhalu, the big brown bear whose laughter could shake the trees. He wasn't just any bear, he was the soul of the jungle. Every morning his deep, rolling laugh echoed through the trees, waking everyone with joy. And every evening, he turned the forest into a festival, drumming on logs, singing silly songs, and telling jokes so funny that even the grumpy owls would smile. Beside him, always, was a little white rabbit named Mintu, tiny, bright-eyed, and full of life. He wore a small green bandana around his neck, his long ears always twitching with curiosity. Mintu adored Bhalu, followed him everywhere, laughed at every joke, and believed that Bhalu's laughter was the most beautiful sound in the world. Every morning after sunrise, Mintu would chase butterflies through the tall grass, soft blue wings fluttering ahead of him as he leaped and tumbled in joy. "Catch me if you can," he'd giggle to the butterflies, though he never could. Bhalu would watch from a distance, laughing so loud the trees shook. "You'll fly one day, little one," he'd say. And Mintu, out of breath but grinning, would reply, "Then you'll have to chase me, Bhalu." Their days were filled with laughter, songs, and sunlight. Mintu would sit on Bhalu's shoulder during storytelling evenings, clapping his tiny paws while Bhalu drummed on hollow logs. The jungle animals gathered, monkeys, parrots, deer, all drawn by that warm sound that made the world feel safe. But time, as it always does, moved quietly. And one day, Bhalu's laugh wasn't as strong. He sat by the lake, his blue vest faded and his fur sprinkled with silver. The air felt still, and the butterflies seemed slower that morning. Mintu hopped beside him and looked up with wide eyes. "Why aren't you laughing today, Bhalu?" he asked softly. Bhalu smiled, though his eyes looked tired. "I'm just listening, little one. Sometimes the jungle laughs for me." Mintu tilted his head. "But I like your laugh better." Bhalu chuckled, slow and deep, like thunder far away. "Then keep it safe for me, okay?" The little rabbit didn't understand, but he hugged Bhalu's big paw tightly, his soft fur brushing against the old bear's fingers. The next morning, the jungle woke in silence. No laughter, no drumming. The wind stood still. The animals gathered near Bhalu's den, and there he lay, peacefully resting among flowers and soft leaves. His eyes were closed, but his face still carried that familiar smile, as if he just finished telling a joke. Mintu's tiny heart trembled. He pressed his paw on Bhalu's chest. "Wake up, please," he whispered. "We haven't finished laughing yet." But the jungle only whispered back. Days turned into nights, and nights into silence. The monkeys didn't play. The parrots didn't sing. The butterflies floated quietly above the flowers. And little Mintu sat by the lake, staring at his reflection, his green bandana dull in the fading light. Then one golden evening, as the sun painted the sky in orange and pink, a blue butterfly landed gently on Mintu's paw. He blinked, remembering Bhalu's voice, "Then keep it safe for me, okay?" Mintu stood up slowly, heart beating fast. He climbed onto a rock where Bhalu once stood, closed his eyes, and tried to remember the sound, that big, bold, joyful laugh that once filled the jungle. At first, only a tiny giggle escaped his lips. Then another, until finally, from deep inside his small heart, came a laugh pure, round, and glowing with light. The jungle stirred. The parrots turned their heads. The monkeys looked down. The lake shimmered. And as the sound spread through the air, the wind began to carry something familiar, a deep, echoing chuckle, warm and proud. Bhalu's laughter. The animals gasped, and then smiled through their tears. The parrots sang again. The monkeys danced. The butterflies circled around Mintu, their wings glimmering like joy reborn. Tears rolled down Mintu's cheeks, but he kept laughing. Because now he knew Bhalu's laughter hadn't died. It had just moved into his heart, into the wind, into every corner of the jungle that still remembered joy. From that day on, Mintu made it his mission to keep the jungle smiling. He told silly stories, danced under the rain, and laughed with every butterfly that passed. Sometimes he'd sit by the lake and talk softly to the wind. "Did you hear that, Bhalu?" he'd whisper. "They're laughing again." and the wind would blow gently, ruffling his fur like a giant invisible paw patting his head. Years passed. Mintu grew older. But no matter how many seasons changed, he never stopped laughing. And when someone asked, "Why do you laugh so much, old rabbit?" he'd look up at the sky, eyes sparkling with memories. "Because someone once told me that life's too short not to." That night, under the full silver moon, the jungle glowed. Fireflies twinkled, butterflies fluttered in slow circles, and laughter, both small and thunderous, filled the air again. If you listened closely, you could hear two voices, one deep and strong, one light and pure, laughing together, across time and memory. The wind carried it far, whispering through the trees, across rivers and stars. Laughter never dies. It just finds a new voice. Moral: love never truly leaves. It lives on in the laughter we share, in the hearts we touch, and in every soul that dares to remember happiness. Sparkling heart.